Good afternoon, everyone. Vicar Jesse here from Bethlehem Lutheran Church, here with a daily message of encouragement that comes from Scripture. This week in our walk through the Bible, we're looking at the prophets, and this will end our walk through the Old Testament. Next week, we'll start in the New Testament. The prophets had a job, that was to speak for God, and they spoke words of both judgment and mercy and salvation. Many of the prophets also looked forward to the Messiah, the Anointed One, the King of Kings. And today we'll look at Isaiah as he anticipates the Messiah. Our scripture for today comes from Isaiah 52 and 53. Behold, my servant shall act wisely. He shall be high and lifted up, and shall be exalted. As many were astonished at you, his appearance was so marred beyond human semblance, and his form beyond that of the children of mankind. So shall he sprinkle many nations. Kings shall shut their mouths because of him. For that which has not been told them they see, and that which they have not heard they understand. Who has believed what he has heard from us? And to whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed? For he grew up before him like a young plant, and like a root out of dry ground. He had no form or majesty that we should look at him, and no beauty that we should desire him. He was despised and rejected by men, a man of sorrows, and acquainted with grief, and as one from whom men hide their faces. He was despised, and we esteemed him not. Surely he has borne our griefs and carried our sorrows. Yet we esteemed him stricken, smitten by God, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. Upon him was the chastisement that brought us peace, and with his stripes we are healed. All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned every one to his own way, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquities of us all. He was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. Like a lamb that is led to the slaughter, and like a sheep that before its shearers is silent, so he opened not his mouth. By oppression and judgment he was taken away. And as for his generation, who considered that he was cut off out of the land of the living, stricken for the transgressions of my people? And they made his grave with the wicked, and with a rich man in his death, although he had done no violence, and there was no deceit in his mouth. Yet it was the will of the Lord to crush him. He has put him to grief. When his soul makes an offering for guilt, he shall see his offspring. He shall prolong his days. The will of the Lord shall prosper in his hand. Out of the anguish of his soul he shall see and be satisfied. By his knowledge shall the righteous one, my servant, make many to be accounted righteous, and he shall bear their iniquities. Therefore I will divide him a portion with the many, and he shall divide the spoil with the strong, because he poured out his soul to death and was numbered with the transgressors. Yet he bore the sins of many and makes intercession for the transgressors. Isaiah is speaking of Jesus Christ, the suffering servant. He talks of Christ's suffering and how he suffered for our sin. But through him, we would be made righteous. We know Isaiah's prophecy came to pass, that at Christmas, Jesus was born, came into the world, and lived amongst us, and suffered for our sin, and died on a cross for our salvation. The prophets speak of the Messiah. They speak of Jesus. In this Advent season, we look forward to Jesus' coming so that he can restore creation. God keeps his promises, and he promised salvation. Hopefully you found some comfort in these words. some reassurance. If there's anything we can do for you at Bethlehem Lutheran Church, please feel free to reach out to us via email at office@blcdelmar.com. If there's anything I can do for you, you can reach me at wilson@blcdelmar.com. As always, God bless you. Have a wonderful day.